So the pro for this side is definitely the time. You're fast, quick, done. But this took me longer, of course. Now let's see whether it's worth it. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Hajar, and in today's video I want to show you how to apply your base makeup flawlessly on textured skin. So for you to visualize how it looks if you don't do it correctly and if you do it correctly, I've decided to leave out the correct steps for this part of the face, and I'm going to work correctly, apply my makeup steps correctly on this part of my face. And at the end, I'm going to show you the comparison. Keep up with the newest lifestyle, makeup trends, and the latest beauty product reviews on my channel, Hajar Beauty. I am Hajar, a makeup artist, cosmetician, and online instructor. I love to help others, and if sharing my knowledge and experience will make you succeed, I'm ready to let you know the steps that worked out for me. I would love to welcome you to my growing beauty community here on YouTube. So if you share the same interests, then please subscribe and hit the bell notification to not miss out on every week's video. I'm going to apply this serum on my face, which I'm using for almost 3 months now. It is the ordinary Niacinamide 10% plus Zinc 1%. It is against blemishes, hydrates the face, plumps the face, and also works against any spots, oiliness. Basically perfect for a combination skin. It does it all. So I'm going to apply a few drops onto my skin. Oh, I almost forgot, not this part, this part. I really want you to see that it really affects how you prepare your skin. So this is basically my skin. It has hyperpigmentation around the eyes, wrinkles on the forehead, and bigger pores on my nose. And yeah, so far so good. Small, maybe little pimples that are not so visible. However, I have textured skin and yeah. We want to also work on the under eye area, therefore I'm using the ordinary Caffeine solution, 5% plus EGCG. Yes. Yeah, what it does, it basically it hydrates again, and it makes your puffiness decrease. Also, I think there is not much product left. Oh god, I forgot to order. But guys, these products are really great and I love them. I have never used a skincare product for that long. I said 3 months, right? It was 6. I'm using these products for 6 months. Of course, oh, yay. Of course, this is my second batch. Do you say batch? This is the second time I re-bought the products, so yeah. Oh, no, we didn't want to do this here in this part. So, just forgot it. So hard to neglect the other part because you're so used to. Just dab it with your ring finger under your eyes, and the reason simply is the ring finger has the least amount of pressure onto this delicate, sensitive skin part, and that is why we use the ring finger for that part. We're going to apply the moisturizer. So this is my second new bought moisturizer by The Ordinary. So I've started my skincare year with the brand Ordinary, and I'm so satisfied because I love that they don't have perfumes in them. They don't smell bad either, although they don't have any perfumes in them. I always think that, I don't know, I have the feeling that perfumes and cosmetic products tend to make my skin react to them, and that's why I don't like that strong perfumes. So yeah, I'm going to apply like a bit because it's half of my face. And I really love this moisturizer. It's so smoothing and hydrating without, you know, without feeling greasy. Perfect for my combination skin. Oh, I didn't say which one it is, but I will write it down. Yeah, it's natural moisturizing factors plus HA, which means or stands for hyaluronic acid. So here we go. I have never done it myself, to be honest with you guys, to compare the differences. I mean, I have been doing these things like a decade correctly, you know, and it will be a surprise for me too, kind of. It's a nice experiment for me as well, an interesting one. So yeah, okay, before I keep going on and talk about my experiences, I'm going to introduce you to this product, which is the Perfector 4-in-1 by Maybelline New York. And if you guys know me for a while now and are following me on this channel, I've got this product like a few months ago and I really love it as a primer. It's actually a matte makeup, a light one. I do apply it sometimes, especially in the summer. I did apply it often on its own without any foundation on because I felt like it's enough and it feels so light. And especially in summer, I tend to have more oily skin. So this matte makeup on my whole face felt just right. But yeah, I do use it most of the time also as a primer because I think it makes my skin look more smooth and also hydrated, you know, my textured skin. So if you go for a primer, look first what kind of things you want to prepare your skin before the foundation for. Is it hyperpigmentation, basically discoloration on your face, that is like tend to be more like, do you have bigger red spots on your face, or do you have like more acne on your face that is red, or do you have like scars that are brownish? Then you should work with primers that do have an effect that color correct. For example, CC primers, color correcting primers. Or if you have like little spots or little parts where you have discoloration, then I will show you what to do next. You can basically correct them locally, and that's totally enough. You don't need a primer for that. Now, if you have a textured skin like me, when you deal with pores and you have oily skin, and you have also dry skin, you can also work with 2 primers. Yes, you heard it right. You can basically work with mattifying as well as smoothing primer on the T-zone. Like, oh no, I didn't want to do this part. Oh my god, I forget it. I will remove that. I will remove that with a makeup remover. Don't worry, y'all. It's so hard to leave that part out. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I corrected it, guys. Oh, I did it here as well. So we're back at it again. So here you see, I'm working on half of my face, but can you see the difference? To me, it's huge, guys. For a product to be able to smoothen out the skin like that, I like it. Okay, I think I need a mirror to see correctly what I'm doing. So here we go. Yeah. Important is when you work with smoothing primers, you shouldn't go crazy about thick layers. Just try to keep it really thin. Otherwise, your foundation will start to feel weird and it starts to glide off, especially if you have oily skin, you know. That's why really work with thin layers. And yeah, here about my wrinkles, there is no thing I really can do about them because they are just mimic lines. And yeah, but I can smooth them a little bit more with this product, and it really helps too, but it's not permanent, and you basically can see the wrinkles afterwards as well when I talk and do this. But who cares? And we don't want to transform you into another person. with makeup, it may be possible, but only on the camera, but in real life you want to look good as well. So you really want to keep it natural. Less is more, even with makeup. And yeah, I always told my clients makeup does magic, but it won't vanish all of your flaws. So don't keep up your hopes too high. All you need to do, basically my primer part. Now in winter, where it's basically cold and my skin tends, my dry skin part tends to get even more drier. It really gets dry to the part that it starts to burn. So I often wear masks, sheet masks on that season, but we're not there yet. We still have September. So in winter, what I actually do is use a second primer, a hydrating primer for my cheek area, because that is the part where I am actually really dry. So yeah, that's my advice for you guys if you deal with extreme combination skin. Where one part is extremely oily and another is very dry, then you have this option. Getting closer to the base makeup step, but the next step I wanted to show you guys, I talked about color correcting, and I think it's an important step. And the reason is, when you have a foundation that actually matches your skin tone, but when it goes over this hyperpigmentation, basically over the scars or the very red spots, then these colors tend to shine through the foundation. Now you might use a very thickly high covering foundation. You can do that and skip this step. But the problem for me personally is, because I have combination skin, I cannot use a high coverage foundation on my whole face. The reason simply is because they have a lot of pigments in them, a lot of color pigments in them, so they can actually cover your blemishes. They tend to be thicker in texture, and I cannot wear thicker foundations. I feel like they are too heavy for my skin, and because of the fact I have combination skin, and when I apply it here, for example, my cheek area, it starts to look cakey and flaky over the course of time, and it doesn't work for me. Comment down in the comment section if you have the same problem, because yeah, that's basically why I try to avoid high coverage foundation. I most of the time work with light to medium buildable foundations. So, and I try to put in a lot of work in my skin preparation steps, so I don't need a lot of foundation. Yeah. So that is why I work with a color correcting concealer palette like this one by NYX. And I've been using this a lot for the past year. And I really like it. It has all the colors I need. I basically always use only those 4 colors, depending how dark my eye circles are at the current state, or how red my spots are. But yeah, at the moment, I think I want my under eye area to look bright. I'm going to use this medium peachy shade. This one is for the time when it's winter and I look like more pale, but it's not the case right now. So here, I apply it under my eyes. Ooh, look, it looks already brighter, but it's fine. Another thing I wanted to tell you guys is why I would apply, why I would basically neutralize my discoloration on skin, is because when you apply your foundation that matches your skin tone and it goes over those parts, they might, especially, I'm talking about especially dark spots or dark circles or whatever darkness you have on your skin, they might change and look grayish. I have heard this a lot from my students who are from South Asia, from India, for example. They say, why does my foundation make me look like a ghost, or why do I look so gray after my makeup? It's my skin tone and I've been using it and it's correct, but when it goes over my eyes, it looks grayish, for example, and dull. And yeah, my answer to that is you haven't neutralized your skin discolorations. You should do that first, because that will help you to get an even looking complexion. Okay, now on to the makeup step. As you saw, I didn't do anything on this part on purpose because I wanted you guys to compare, or I wanted myself to actually compare both sides and see how different they might look and feel. So there is a technique I've been using and I've also made a video about, which I will link down somewhere here and there. It's about underpainting technique. I don't know whether you've heard about it, but what the underpainting technique basically means is you go ahead and use your concealer and contour product first before applying your foundation, basically beneath your foundation. And the reason why you would want to do that, I would especially recommend this to beginners, is because when you as a beginner want to contour and highlight, you often deal or are left with harsh edges. And to harsh edges of contour products or even concealer, it's it's less likely that it's because of the concealer, but it's more probable that you deal with harsh edges of a contour because it's darker and you can see the edges obviously better. So that's why when you work with this technique you're a beginner and you're not so good at blending, or you're just a beginner in blending, you will find it really easier to get a more natural looking complexion after applying foundation. Because here's what happens when you apply your foundation. When you apply your foundation, you might look pale and flat. Your face will lose its dimension. And why we do contour and concealer is the main reason to get those dimensions back, to make your face basically look three-dimensional instead of two. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope you can imagine what I mean. So basically you will give your face its shadows back and its light back, so it looks much more flattering to the eye, much more natural to the eye when foundation is applied. So as I said, you can do it before applying foundation or after it, but I would suggest you to do it before. And if you do it before, then make sure to use cream products, not powders, because it just doesn't go well when applying cream foundation on top. You know, they need to melt into each other and to create a nice complexion and blend in well into each other. All three need to be cream or fluid products, but not powder. Now, if you have oily, problematic skin everywhere on your face, you're not a combination skin like me, for example, then I would suggest you to do it the other way around. So apply your foundation and just work on your blending skills. So as I said, I have applied and prepared my skin. I'm going to go for my concealer first. So my concealer is this one by L'Oreal, Perfect Match or True Match. It is eye care cream and a concealer, it says. It has like 0.5% pure hyaluronic acid. This is a great one for dry under eye areas like I do have. I generally would advise you guys to go for hydrating concealers because they don't dry out your eyes, and most of the time, no matter what skin type we have, we deal with dry under eye skin. So if you're really very oily, no problem, you can go over with powder. It's mattified. It's what we're going to do next as well. But yeah, you can bake basically afterwards, because if you go for a matte concealer and apply your or set your makeup and or bake with your powder, it will crease into your folds and look more dry in the course of the day. So this is why I love this concealer. It's lightweight, it's very natural looking. It's not that high coverage, but as I said, if you prepare well, you can also go for this one if you have dark circles. So you can go for a brighter one if you want really brighter looking eyes, but I prefer not to. I like it when it's like my skin tone. So we also do the lids. Okay, I'm going a bit more here in this because it's going to be beneath the foundation. And I could basically contour now. I would basically apply a bit here in the nose, under my cheekbone, and yeah, a bit on my forehead. It's not that important, but let's do that. So, oop-la-la. And yeah, basically how I do it, a bit on the chin. So my contour product is the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand in the shade Fair to Medium. And I'll apply a little more intense on purpose. The reason simply is we're going over it with foundation, so it's okay if it's a little bit more, even better, because it will be able to shine through the foundation. Okay, I am going to also contour maybe here under my jawline for a more defined jawline. And that's it basically. So I will now blend those. I'm going to use my multitasking buffer brush by Alpha Makeup. It's my personal brand's makeup brush set, 12 pieces. It contains 12 pieces of different brush types for your needs. So if you're interested, I have the link down below in the description box. Okay, so what I like about this brush as well is it doesn't suck in the product. You can blend really well with it. Okay, I'm going to blend my nose. And here we go with blending the contour upwards because you want to lift your cheekbone area. And it's okay if it's not perfectly blended and if we look funny. So what we're going to do now is use two different kind of foundation. You can mix both if you want to, or you can apply them differently. That is basically my personal tip or advice because I have combination skin, and as I told you guys with the two primers, I do that as well with two foundations because I feel like my needy skin who has like two different characteristics are well served with two foundations. One for the T-zone because it needs to look matte, and another for my cheek area which would like to have more hydration and look more luminous and dewy. And that is why I'm going to do that. I'm going to apply the matte and poreless Fit Me foundation by Maybelline. It's a great foundation, medium coverage, buildable, and works great on pores, and also affordable, everyday friendly, beginner friendly. I just love it, and I've been using it for years, like for my daily makeup. Going to apply it again with the same brush from previously. I'm going to focus on my nose, chin, forehead. So here it goes. Going to apply that. Not going to blend in yet fully because I want to do it all at once. I'm just going to apply the product on half of my face. So here mainly the chin area and a bit on my forehead. Actually, it's my nose that gets really oily, and here like this little part of my cheek. So that's for that. And now I'm going to apply the hydrating version of the same series by Maybelline called Luminous Smooth. Fit Me Maybelline Luminous Smooth Foundation in the shade 125 Nude Beige. Going for one pump and build it up if I need more. So going to apply it on this part of the face. Oh, you can really feel how this is like more hydrating than the other one. Okay, so now we're good to go to blend in the products. Going to use my damp beauty blender again, and yeah, here we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do before my under eye or the concealer around my eye starts to crease, I'm going to set it with a setting powder by Laura Mercier. And my favorite one because it's not drying, it's hydrating, and it's very light. I love how light it is. So I'm using this mid-sized brush, and I am going to get excess product off and apply it now. First I see if I have any existing cream product sneaking into my folds. Now it's even, and then I'm going to go over this and mattify it. See. So the parts I mattify most of the time is again my T-zone, because that is the part where I do have wrinkles, where I do have textured skin and oily skin. So this is basically my trick to keep it glowy and luminous on this part, and to keep it matte here on these parts. So obviously there's no color yet on my skin. That is what I'm going to do next. So actually sometimes I do not to apply a bronzer, but sometimes I do to like warmen up my skin a little. So I'm using this bronzer by Kiko Milano. It was a limited one, so it's not on the market, not worth mentioning it. So I'm going to apply it with this angled bronzer brush. I'm going to apply it on the parts where I have applied my contour mainly, and on the parts I want to look a bit like tanned. So yeah. Before applying my highlighter, I go for a matte blush in a mauve pink shade by Charlotte Tilbury. Been using it also for a few months and I can't get my hands off it. So I'm going to smile for that one, and I'm going to apply it also a bit on my cheekbone to give me a lifting effect, and then going to use my fingers to blend it. So you see, we try to imitate the natural skin, but make it actually look a bit better. Because as you can see on this side, I don't have any blush on yet. I look blushed because of my good, thankfully, blood circulation. So I also do like to apply blush on my nose. because it gives me a cute looking sun-kissed look. The last makeup step of my base makeup is the highlighter. I'm using a fluid highlighter by Charlotte Tilbury called Beauty Light Wand in the shade Pillow Talk. I'm going to apply a bit on my cheekbone here on top. It does a lot of difference. Now guys, here's a tip. If you have textured skin on this part, I do have it also, like I do have pores as you can see, and maybe little spots, but they are not so obvious. If you have like big pimples and really obvious spots here on this part, skip it, because this thing is going to highlight it and make it more obvious, and that's not what you want. So keep your makeup matte instead. Okay, so basically I would also apply, now if you have very oily nose, also skip this step because it will end up looking greasy instead of glowy. But yeah, so this is basically the end result of half of my face, and this is the result without any makeup up until now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply only makeup here in this part. So I'm using basically also wrong products, wrong in terms of texture and characteristics. Like it's a matte high coverage foundation on a dry skin, dry / combination skin. I'm going to use the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation and the shade 18.5 yellow or white. This is a good foundation for an occasion, for example. I like that, but now if you don't prepare your skin like I didn't, and you apply it right away on top, and it's maybe also not the perfect foundation for the other parts of your skin. Like it would be maybe for my T-zone, but not for the cheek area, because my skin will start to itch and look flaky. So I'm going to apply. I'm going to apply it right away. And it also looks like it's the wrong shade, but it will oxidize, so it doesn't matter for now. For the concealer, I'm using the Best Skin Ever concealer, also by Sephora collection, in the shade 20. Okay. So last step would be the NYX Matte Finish setting spray. I'm going to only spray it over this part. And I'm going to leave out this part. Look and see whether it was worth it to work your beep off. I want you guys to first see it, then I'm going to take a look with the mirror and tell you about my opinion. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm looking in this mirror like for a while now, and I'm trying to spot a difference or a blemish or something I can complain about and somehow see whether the effort was worth it on this side. And I have to be honest with you guys. I don't see a difference. So I believe you would spot the difference maybe when wearing this makeup for longer hours on the day, and at the end of the day when you want to wash it off, maybe you can then spot a difference that base makeup the correct way does make a difference than applying your foundation and concealer just right away. yeah, I would be thankful if you let me know in the comment section if you're interested. I would be glad to try it out myself because this was a surprise to me as well. I didn't expect this, but I believe there is a good science behind this, and that I would not be able to wear this part as flawlessly as this one. Basically what I'm trying to say, this one is going to last me longer than this part of the face. So if you want me to try this out, then let me know in the comment section, and I will be more than glad to do an experimental video about it. Thank you for joining me up until now, and I hope you've learned some things or experienced some new thing in this video, anything. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video after my vacation. So have a good time. I wish you all the best and see you next.